I mean, most of the programming language support modular programming concept, except those which were used long term back as assembly language or assembly language, or what do you call it, machine level language. So that time modular programming was not that much popular, but once this Pascal, that means method oriented programming comes, then onwards every programming language is having function. So this is very easy. So now when we write function, we have two things. First of all, function is having two things. One is that calling the function, one is the definition, and another one is the calling. These two things are there in the function, you all of you know. First is the definition of the function, second thing is the calling the function. So once you define it, you have to call the function. Okay, that is a major thing. These two components function is having. So if we simply write, let's say I am writing one function, simple function, intro, let us say, okay, intro, and then in this intro I am just simply writing print hello everyone, and then this is my definition of the function. So in Python, this advantage is there that anywhere, anytime you can define a function. That is a big advantage compared to other language. So just write def, definition. So this is a keyword. Immediately once you write def, the meaning is that the interpreter will understand that you are going to define some function. So this is big advantage, because during our time when we used to do BTech and all, that time we used to run programs on C, C++, and that time there is no such thing. So the place where you are defining the functions becoming a big challenge. You know, if you define outside of before main, it happens somewhere, it responds in a different way. If you define the function after main, it will respond in a different way. So there is a big confusion. Okay, so that confusion has been removed by this def keyword. So you have to write def intro. So this is my function name. Okay, this is my function name, and these are the two open bracket that you have to write every time. Once you write this open bracket and this definition, then interpreter will understand that this is nothing but a Python function. Okay, and then this colon you should not miss. Once you miss colon, it will give an error. Now I am writing here simply print everyone, and then hello everyone I am writing, or maybe I can write hello here, and then I can print everyone here. Okay, so what is happening here, you see? So if you run it, nothing, if you run this, what will happen? You see, the process finished with exit code. So this is a beauty, like even though I am not calling the function, simply I have defined the function, but still you are not getting such kind of syntactical error. But it's meaningless. This is meaningless because you are not calling the function, you are simply defining the function introduction, right? But here you have written two printf function, printf, sorry, not printf, print function, hello everyone, right? But even though you have written this without any calling function, you are not calling this function, simply defining it, but still you are not getting any such kind of syntactical error. Even you are not getting any logical error also. It's like it's running actually. So from definition perspective, it is correct. So this is a big development that has happened in last few years. So here you can call intro, and then things will be fine, and it will print hello everyone, right? Hello everyone, it will print. So hello everyone is printing. So this is the function, students. Now you see this is one module. Okay, this is one module. You can, okay, this is one module. So this is how you define function. You will call this function multiple times. So you can call this function also multiple times. There is no harm calling function intro again. Okay, so that is the beauty. So this is intro, you are calling again. So it will again run it. Run it 2 times, it will print, right? Multiple times. So this is hello everyone, hello everyone. So this is beauty. So anywhere you can call this function intro. So this is called calling the function. Calling the function, right? So this is good. Here also you are calling. So calling the function, and this thing itself, it took a lot of time for us during a BTech, I remember. Calling the function, defining the function. But anyway, so this is calling the function. This is again you are calling. You can call multiple times. That is the advantage. Anytime you can call this function. Every time you do not have to write the code. from anywhere you can write it, until this function is protected by some kind of mechanism. There is no harm calling this function multiple times. Okay, so anybody can come and write, anybody can come and call this intro, it will result. There is no so it's okay. So now let us add two numbers using this function. So let us add two numbers. So what we will do, let's add. Okay, so what we will do, so similarly in case of addition, let us name it as add. Okay, and then here addition, what happens, you normally, let us say in very primitive case, we need two variables to be added, so x comma y, and then your this thing. Okay, here what will happen, your another variable c, which is nothing but x plus y, and then you just simply print it. Let us say inside the function itself we print c. Okay, so this should run. Now you are from here, so here you should not call the function. I mean, we will see that if you call the function from here, what will happen. Those things we will see later, but let us for the time being call the function from the outside of the definition, right? So if you call the function from the inside, it will be nothing but a recursive function. We are not going into that. So we are calling from here, and then we are passing two values, let us say 3, 4. Okay, and then we are running it. So it's a addition. So it has run properly successfully, and it is giving 7 output. So I hope everyone understood, right? So x and y are the you call it a formal argument, and when you are passing these two variables, these are called actual argument. Okay, so this is actual, this is formal. I have discussed in the last class. Okay, parameter of function base. Okay, this is parameter. So this is also okay, fine. So 3 and 4 you have called. Okay, now you are printing also this value here, x plus y. So this is the addition function. Now if you want to add, if you say, sir, can we add three variables? You can add n number of variables, not a problem. Let us take z here, and similarly x plus y plus z, and then print c, and here you have to pass another value, that's all, 5. So 5 plus 4 9, 9 plus 3 12. So 12 will be the answer here, right? So this is, you are passing 3 values, value number 1, value number 2, and value number 3. Okay, so this is good thing. So it is happening through function call. So this is the calling. Every time you just locate this calling, and then this is the definition of the function. Definition. Okay, fine. So this you understood, students. Now every time you might not want to print that stuff inside the definition. It may happen that every time you are not wanting to print the things inside the definition. In that case, what you will do, you may return the value. That option is there, because ultimately functions does some calculations and it returns to the calling function, right? So here I am calling from add. So if you want that, you can do it, not a problem, right? So how to do that? So return keyword will be needing in this time. So when you call a function, it will do two things. First, it will do the job for you, like here it is doing the job for you. It is adding and is printing the value whatever is added. And the second thing that you can do, instead of printing, you can directly return the value to the original function. Sometimes you may not be wanting to print the function, print the value inside the defined function, right? Remember, whatever things you are defining or declaring inside the function, that is not necessarily that is actually local to that particular function. Okay, so this x, y, z, and then c, these things are basically local. Local means what? Local means I'll make you understand, but try to understand that this print function and this c value and everything is local to this function inside this block. So this is nothing but a block, you can imagine. Okay, so once you try to change something, it won't happen actually. So this is local to the block anyway. So this is one thing. Now you don't want this print function to be working every time for you. You want to print this thing outside of the definition of the function. So what you will do in that case? So you can simply, let us say still two variables were okay. So here also I'm passing two values. So here c equal to here, and then after that you don't simply print it, rather you return this, return c. That is also okay, welcome thing, no problem. So this is nothing but returning values from the function. Okay, right? So this is return, right? And then what you do for that, you are returning this C. So this C is coming over here, the values get returned or returning over it. So you store that value. So let us name this returning variables as P, or let us say R, or let us say RT. Okay, RT is there, and then finally you print it. Print RT. Now students, if you return it, and then let us say if you return C, and then okay, so if you return from here, it is returning fine. No, it will work, but what I try to say anyway, so it is working. So 7, 6, 3 plus 4, 7, so it is returning the value. Okay, so that means you have bring out this value which has been calculated inside this definition of the function, and you are printing it over here. So this is one thing, good thing. Without that, whether I can bring out without return statement, I can't do. Without return statement, I cannot bring out this value under any ways. Okay, any means I cannot do it. Only thing is that you can print the value. If you want that calculated value to be outside of this add function, you have to use this return. Okay, so this is there. Okay, so because if you want to print it over here, let us say if you want to print let us say here, if you want to print where here and to print and then C. Okay, if you want to do that, and let us say this is not needed. Okay, so whether it will work, I don't think it will work. Let me see. So it won't work because C is not defined. C is not defined, that's what. Only thing is that, so C cannot be printed, so you return it, and then from here you can print it RT. Okay, this is done. So this is how you should return. No, so this is calling, this is, so you understood what is calling, what is definition of a function. Now you understood what is the calling function, everything you understood, and then how to return a value from a function. So these three things you understood very well. Okay, now okay, now you can you return two values? Can you return two values from a function, students?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can return two values. It is little bit difficult in other programming language, but in Python it is easy. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll write a function. Let us say we write a function of addition and multiplication. Let us say addition and multiplication. C equal to x plus y, and let us say so this is add. Okay, this is a equal to x plus y, and this is multiplication m equal to x star y, x star. So this is multiplying. So then this is multiplying. This is adding the two values, and this is multiplying two values. Right. Now I want to return what. So in this case it's running, right? But once I put here,
so we have to store in single.
No, it's running. It's running only, not a problem. I'm just seeing whether it is now it will run or not. Yeah, it's perfectly running. I don't know. So I must have did some syntactical. See, students, it's running actually. So it's returning two values. Okay, now let me see if I can individually send this, and individually if I return this, whether it will run or not. This is the situation you had, right? Let me see. Okay, in this case it's a problem. So return C, return D you should not do. Instead you can have return C comma D. But anyway, so it's not an issue.
So the problem is we should not put brackets.
No, but in bracket also it's working. Okay, it's working, not a problem. C comma D. In fact, without bracket also it will work. So students, you can see that two two values it's returning. That means it can return n number of values from the functions, or in fact it can return n number of variables, you can see, to be precise. And then you can print those values outside of the functions, right? And then you can print them outside. If you want to print it inside, that also you can do. Just you have to write printf statement over here. But these things are a little bit difficult in other programming language, but in Python you can actually return 2, 3, 4, in fact n number of values you can return from a particular function. It's not that two functions, single function only. So this is quite an advantage for Python framework. Now students, we will see, last class we have discussed about global variable. We had some difficulty. Okay, so global variables, scope with respect to functions. Okay, that means if you declare a variable inside a function, how far that variable is printable within the function, outside of the function. That is the scope. What is the lifeline of that particular variable, where it ends. So that is a very important thing when you deal with Python programming. Okay, because number of data will be increasing in Python, because it's, you know that in data science, in industry, number of data will be huge. So obviously we will be having global variable. Okay, before discussing the global variable, let us first understand why it, in normal case when it fails, okay, what is the scope. So for that, let me see, let us do one program, this one, x equal to, let us say, Roy. Okay, this is one variable that I have initialized, and I want to play with this variable that I have initialized with Roy. Okay, so for that I have defined one function, define scope of variable. This is the function name I have given, scope of the variable. So what is the scope of this variable? Okay, Roy. So this is thing, and then let us print it here, x. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so here if you run it, so students, you see it is okay, it is not running because it's just a definition. So from here you can call it, you can call scope of variable, right? And now it will work. Okay, so Roy has been printed. So students, what do you think? This Roy is what? This Roy is, what is your judgment about this Roy that I have declared inside the scope of the function? What do we say about this Roy variable? Is it local to this scope scope of variable function, or it is local? Students, once you write x equal to this, some initialization, then you print it or you do something with the variable, that meaning is that that variable is local to this function. Remember that.
Yes,
Yeah, if you want
global,
then you have to declare it global. I am asking, when you write a variable and you initialize it, by default it is local to this function, whatever. If you also, let us say, another variable y, something you are initializing, then you are doing something with that variable here inside with that y, that will also become local. If you want things to be global, then you have to declare global. Okay, that is what my intention is. So students, by default it is local. Remember that. Okay, by default Roy is local. Okay, so and then so if you just run it, it will run Roy, and then if I want that x y, meaning of local is what? Meaning of local is that you can print it, you can do whatever you like. Okay, it can be accessed, but it cannot be changed. That is the meaning of local here. You can print it, you can access it, but you cannot change the value. Let us say I want to change this x here, and I want here that x equal to Peter, let us say. Okay, now I have changed the value. Let us say whether it works. It is not working. Local variable x referenced before assignments. Okay, so because I have tried to change the x, so it's not working because x is local variable. Remember that. Okay, so to do this, to print this Peter, this changed value, what can I do? I can I can print new x. Okay, Peter. Now it is printing. So just that you have to declare a new variable and then initialize this variable that you have initialized outside of the scope of variable function. This you do, and then you change it. The new x is now Peter. Roy will be changed to Peter, and then print it. This way you can do it. You want to overcome all these things, new variable and all, every time declaring new variable on will be little bit tiresome job. So for that we have this global variable concept. So what you do, you have to let us say you don't need two variables and extra variables. So for that things are very easy. What you do, you have to simply x equal to Roy, this is fine, and definition of scope, this is scope, and then here you declare the global variable x, okay, and then you print it, print x, okay, and then here you call this one okay. So okay, now it is working, right? So this is how global x will work. So we understood what is global variable and how to deal with it, okay. Without using global variable also you can change the value, so the way I have shown you, okay. So next topic is that nested function, students, okay. Nested function. So nested function. So what do you mean by nested function? Since overlapping, not overlapping, one item is there inside another item, so that is called nested, right? So nested function. So when function is called within a function is called nested function. Now you can tell me whether recursive function and nested function are same thing. Recursive function also is a kind of nested function only, but we will see that what is recursive function. A function calls itself is a recursive function, but nested function does not necessarily always mean that you have to call the same function. You can call other function inside another function, right? So the name you can differ, like you can call a function A inside a function B, like that. But in case of recursive function, you have to call function within same function you have to call, okay. When function call itself, that is called recursive function. That also we'll see in the next class. So the nested function is function within the function. So definition of, let us say outside outside I am declaring one function, okay, outside function, okay. So function within a function is called nested function, okay. Function within a function, no need. So this is outside function. So in outside function I am just declaring x equal to, let's say 5, and then definition of inside, this is inside function, this is another function. So this is outside function, students. What is nested function? Nested function means function within a function, okay. So this is outside function and this is inside function. So this is outside function definition. So in that definition, just I have declared one I have initialized one variable with x equal to 5, okay, x equal to 5, and then I am defining another function. So this another function, they are differs by their name. This is outside, this is inside, this is another completely different functions. You can tell, sir, whether I can define inside function here, sorry, outside. In this case it will be called that function is calling itself, like one function definition is there, no, not calling, but here same functions are getting defined inside. So this is a different thing, this is not needed. So here I am just inside function I am defining, right? Inside function, this is one function definition, this is another function definition. Now this inside function I am print, let us say x, okay. So the value that we have, okay. So this is there, and then I am calling here inside, let us say, and then here outside I am calling this outside, okay, outside. Let me see if it runs. So from outside I have called this function, and this is the outside function definition where I have just initialized x equal to 5, and this is the definition of inside function, another function, there I'm printing x. Let us see whether it is getting printed, and then finally one call is there. So what will happen basically? This will continuously call or what? Let us see. No, it won't continuously call because actually it is just an execution, because once it is 5 and then when it got inside this function where you are printing and then you are calling it, so basically this value will be lost. This value of 5 will be lost because this value of 5 is not will be applicable over here. So this block we are losing this value, x value of x. Okay, so what to do? If you just simply delete this, let us see if you, I don't know, maybe if you delete this and then if you put it over here, and you can return also. You can return this print text, and then you can return this, return inside also you can do.